So this COVID lockdown thing, we've been locked in the house for about 2 weeks now, and it's starting to get to me a little bit that we had to, we're even working out inside. Got my dumbbells down here and some resistance bands. But we're actually pretty lucky in that we are right by the beach and we do have a nice patio there. So we are able to go outside, but I really feel for some of those people that they've just been locked in their house for the past couple of weeks and they don't really have anywhere to go outside. They don't have nice views and all this stuff. It probably really getting to their head. And I'm starting to notice after a couple of weeks that I'm starting to get a little bit, what's the opposite of homesick? Whatever that is. That being said, it's a really great time for a lot of you guys to start learning some of the stuff. I know everyone here watching, they're interested in learning how to trade better. And I think if you're not progressing in some way personally during a pandemic, during a lockdown, then you're really doing something wrong. So this guy, Marcus Achilles, he wrote actually meditations during the plague. And he'd probably be the first to tell you that if you're not progressing some way, then you're taking advantage of this poorly and you're not doing the lockdown properly. It's really a great time to advance in some way. So I really advise you guys, watch all the videos that you can, learn as much as you can, and even start developing some other skills once you do get through all the content that you can, because it is something that's going to take a long time and you won't be able to learn it all in one lockdown. It's going to be a little bit too stressful. Somebody else that actually made a difference during I think it was the plague or some sort of pandemic, was Sir Isaac Newton. And you can probably look it up. I don't know exactly what he was doing, but I do know that he did some of his best work just sitting at home during that pandemic. And it's really a great opportunity for people with the means in order to sit at home and, theory craft, come up with new knowledge, things like this. A lot of people, they're going to sit at home and they're going to sit and watch TV, and they're not actually going to be able to do very much because they're not already equipped with some sort of starting point. They don't already know what they need to do during the pandemic. So anyone who's already watching this video, you guys already know where you want to go, I think. You're all looking to progress in trading somehow. So I think this is the great opportunity for a lot of you guys. So you really got to take advantage of it so that you can come out, bigger and better than the rest. All right, so start of the week, I had a really awesome setups here, but they just didn't happen to work out in our favor. And then we exited them while I was sleeping here. So on the Monday, basically all I was seeing was, this is EJ, and we were in this major downtrend, and when we look on the daily time frame here, we can see beautiful sweeps above this level and then nothing showing us bullishness. We were just dumping back down. So I was thinking we were really going to target this untested zone on the daily. So when we look at the 15-minute, it was quite beautiful too. We made a consolidation range, we swept the highs here and then dumped down. So it was really nice. I was able to enter on the market here, but it just came right back and then we exited. And this exact same idea with pound Swiss here. And we see beautiful uptrend, sweeping the lows here. And then I was able to enter on a retest of the base after we broke out. Now, unfortunately, I had a really tight stop here, and then we got stopped out for half our loss. So starting off the week with just a 1.5 hour loss. Right, so looking back at pound Swiss again, we were able to actually see a beautiful little sweeping pattern here. And if I look at the smaller time frame right there, you can see the sweep, and then we entered on the breakout here. And you can see that that's going decently in our favor here. This is the hourly. Hopefully we hit our target. This was a re-entry from that previous position, and unfortunately the euro pound also went back in our direction, but it just perfectly stopped us out. That's the way it goes. This would have been at least a grand at this point, but that's too bad. Boys, it's getting juicy. This is the third time I've entered this trade this week. Pound Swiss. We got stopped out on the second try right around here at about 1R, just the stop below that wick there. But when we're looking at this, I told you guys, I think in one of my videos here this week, or in the streams or something like this, that I was looking for another reversal if we were to bounce off of this base. Let me just draw a little box here so you can see it. This area here, right? And a little bit higher. There we go. And we did bounce off of it, and then we broke up really quickly. So we entered along there. Let's see if the third time's the charm. Might be able to make some money. So while that pound pair is running, let me just explain. This is euro odd. This is another pair that I've been playing around with, and we are in this major uptrend on the 4-hour here, and we're just retesting this. Let me zoom in here a little bit for you guys. We're retesting kind of this order block. You can see a huge bounce off of that, a close back within this level here. So you can see that that was kind of just a stop hunt, and then we started continuing up. So my first long, we actually got long right on this this explosive, this engulfing candle here on that retest. So you can see a retest of this base, and then we got long there, and we're targeting something high up. Doesn't really matter what the target is. And then we saw it rally up. We got about halfway, about 3R. Took a little bit of profit, and then we're re-entering now that we're retesting this area. And as you can see, if I even go down to the 5-minute here, we've retested this area, and we've just bounced off it really nicely, retouched the shoulder here, and I've entered long once again. And now all of the stops have actually moved up on both of the positions. So this is something that I just wanted to make clear to you guys, that I was talking about before in previous videos, saying that it's just very important that you stay break even for the majority of the week, and then you can have the possibility of these compounding pairs that just work out so well in your favor. So worst case at this time is basically break even, because this first one would stop out at 1R, and this one would stop out at approximately half an R loss. So worst case is I roughly break even. Best case is I have 2 trades go both 7R and 9R. So what is that, 16R? That's a huge reward. Even if you're only making, $50 per trade or something, that's a huge reward. So it's just so important that you stay focused, you cut your losers quickly, and then you have these major winners. So I got super excited here on the euro odd when it started breaking up here, and then it just dumped all the way right back down. Luckily, as this was getting tested, as you can see, tested, kept moving the stop forward. So on this trade, we only lost less than half R, and then on this trade, we made 2R or something like this. So it was a profitable trade overall. And just a quick update on the pound Swiss here too. You can see the 5-minute completely turning around right at the same highs as you can see up here, the exact same highs, turning around, breaking levels. It's a good time to get out, jumping out at approximately, let's see here, approximately 2.5R. So it was a pretty decent week. Now that we're at the end of the week, it could have been a lot better, and there's always places to improve. Looking back on the week now, I was in and out of a lot of trades, and I had actually moved my stop forward a little bit too soon on a lot. Looking back, I can obviously see that these were the mistakes. We did make some decent money. I think it was about 1 or 2 R. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to post the profit in a little pop-up here so that you can see the account balance now. We are going up slowly but surely. But looking back, I can tell that we knew it was the NFP week, and we knew that the markets were going to be acting a little bit differently. Mind you, we didn't really put that into action, and I did a little bit of research by the end of the week here, asking some, other professional traders and looking back at old data. And I see that NFP week is much more ranging. We see a lot more price going for the breakout, and then it comes right back in, right? So this tells me that instead of shooting for those big R trades that I was talking about earlier, where I was looking for like 10 R trades, right? Because I was looking for a specific price for the pound Swiss pair to get to. And I know it's going to get there. It actually got very close after I think we got 4 trades on it, and each of the trades only were like slight profit, but we could have made actually probably about 3R on each trade if we closed them out. So that's kind of the takeaway for this week. And what I'm going to try to do is for each of these weeks, give you guys some sort of takeaway, give myself some sort of takeaway, and then we can progress that way, just a little bit slowly, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger every single week. And so the takeaway this week is that on the NFP weeks, what I'm going to do is twofold. I'm going to leave the stops in their original position, because what I noticed was actually none of the positions would have gotten stopped out, except for the ones that were obviously wrong. There's a couple that were obviously wrong, but none of them would have actually come all the way back and stopped me out. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to take my profits along the way a little bit sooner on NFP week, just so that I do see those resistance levels, and I'm going to take a little bit off instead of usually I just let things go as long as I can when it is a trending week. And of course, during the other weeks of the month, we're kind of keep things the same way, move the stops as price goes forward, and also just I like to not really take many profits unless it's very obvious. Then I'm just going to close the position out completely and then re-enter once price is clearer. Anyways, but NFP week is a little bit weird, so we're going to play a little bit differently from now on.